Right, okay. Next, Constitution. Last time round, we had a kind of sample constitution of what a Scotland would be. This time round, we've kind of suggested in here that there's a period, there's a gap period of this 3 years. And in that 3 years, we would have the capacity to do a really good national crowd-building constitution. Now, I take this from constitutional expert Elliot Bulmer, who said that in most cases, the process of building a constitution is more important than the constitution itself. And I thought it was a really nice idea that the process of getting the people of Scotland involved in writing that constitution and producing it is possibly more important to the start of a new nation than whatever actually turns up into it. And so what we're saying is, I'm just going to say no more clapping. We've got a lot of work to get through here. We're not going to get through it if you keep interrupting. Jesus. Right, so one of the questions that I'm quite interested in, again, is this is just a sort of general, how much should we be spelling out before an independence referendum about what goes in a constitution? So there's some things you would have to absolutely promise, democratic elections, you would have to absolutely promise human rights, the rule of law, etc., etc. There are some other things which we could then start to put in, which might be messages. So, for example, we could put in a prohibition of nuclear weapons, and that is divisive. Not everybody thinks that we should do that, but totally not listening. See that? So, here's my question. What do you think? Do we use, is there an advantage in producing a more detailed constitution which we put as part of the campaign and which might work to enthuse people? Or do we say to people, actually, you'll have the absolute safeguards of a modern democracy will be in the Constitution, but we're going to use this as a process where all citizens get to build it afterwards? There's pros and cons for both. So what do you think? More detail in advance? Hands up. Yeah, quite a lot of people for that. More of it put in the hands of citizens afterwards doing the building? Yeah, I think probably a bit of a majority for that one. Sorry? Right. Now that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. So there's a new one. We can have the hybrid version of this, which says that next week the Scottish Government announces that it's doing a national constitution building process involving all citizens as of June. And we have actually got this process completed by the time that we actually start an independence referendum. Yeah. Contact your MSPs. Right. So we're going to deal with the Constitution. We're going to try and produce one, and we do see. I think everybody there seems to see it as a tool that we can use. Here's another question.